We'll be starting in just a moment. We're getting the Facebook stream started right now.
Facial hair is itchy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yours is super...
Yeah, it makes me wonder having a mustache that with pretty strong adhesive and strong over another mustache. Oh, live to regret it. Okay, everybody ready? Here we go. Here we go. Well, hi, I didn't see you standing there. Join us. Tonight, we're so lucky we have Bob Ross in the house.
Well, lucky. I mean, we got Superman here.
Yeah, yours truly, Henry Cavill's Superman. The mustachioed Superman. But
my favorite Superman.
Oh, yeah, he was pretty good. Who was that guy that played Superman before Henry Cavill?
Oh gosh, Brandon. Oh, I forget. But honestly, I loved him in Superman Returns.
Yeah.
I know that movie gets boohooed.
Yeah.
But it was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this mustache is okay. It hurts. I found it with a fake the fake mustache. It hurts to smile.
Whatever. Welcome to my world all month.
What, you've been wearing fake mustaches all
I've been
month?
wearing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh,
I didn't
true.
realize how much facial hair itches people. How do you handle it? I can't.
Well,
I can't.
it's usually not like this. Well, I feel like I have a mustache on crooked now. Anyway.
Well, it works.
I feel like I've been hit by Lex Luthor and my mustache got knocked.
Well, Henry never looked as good.
Oh, thank you. So, I appreciate it. So, welcome to Bob Ross Scary Times tonight.
Scary Times, it's accurate.
Tonight's going to be fun. We have a little video that we put together earlier today. It's less than a minute long, but it's of my mom and Jacqi getting the pants scared off of them almost.
Dude, it was crazy. I'll just say it was crazy.
Yeah, so much so that right after it, Jacqi grew a beard.
It
completely changed her. Are you starting the Facebook watch party?
I am getting there. Yes.
So I'll wait a moment to talk about what we're going to talk about until we get the face party watch party things started. But gosh, this is horrible. I
wonder how long that's going to last. Let's take bets, people.
I don't know. Can I bet too? I might
Okay, well, Kylie Sykes has joined us, says, hey guys. Ron Seffert has joined us, says, hey everyone. Linda is with us, says, funny. Christy Allman is with us, hey. She says, hey guys. So, hey.
Well, today I gave a talk to a nonprofit, No Barriers, and it was really great. And I tried to instill the severity and sheer no tomfoolery when it came to art. There can be no laughter. There can be it's all serious business. So hopefully I'm underscoring that here tonight. If any of you guys tune in from that, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, Christy says she gives 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably about that. Gosh.
I know. I'm like, as I talk, this thing creeps close to this thing.
You know what's cool with you? Like if so, I don't know what you have underneath that. Like, but it should be like a sequin dress.
I should.
Because then you could rip the beard off and the shirt, and then suddenly you're Austin Powers Beyonce.
Well, this shirt is pretty big, so when I was putting it on, I was like, man, the buttons are gonna loosen and come. It could be a good show.
Yeah, it's one of my dress shirts. And
then I was putting like the wig on, the afro thing, and then I was like fluffing it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like to like try to get the perfect circular, because like it is a hot mess. It's like it might be like in one and out and nuts, but like if you have like an afro, apparently you got to like work at getting it symmetrical. I never thought about that.
You gotta style that bouffant.
You gotta style.
Man.
Style it.
Well, you're so crazy.
Anyway, so
can you just say like happy little trees for me?
We're gonna put some happy little trees in this. I'm happy. I don't know how he says it, to be honest. I looked at like some videos and in the videos he didn't actually say it, but he did have his little squirrel, his little pea pod. It was so cute. There you go. And then I put a message out and I was like, anybody got like a little squirrel I can borrow? Nobody did.
That's surprising. Yeah, I think I'm having mustache problems. I can't find the center of my face. I can draw a straight line, but I'm terrible at making things even. It's funny.
That fake mustaches.
Is that good?
Yeah, man, you look great. I mean,
oh no! So for anybody that doesn't know, I'm Henry Cavill, Superman. He got dinged really hard on the last Superman movie because he had to grow a mustache for Mission Impossible Fallout, I think it was, and then he had to come back for some reshoots. But they wouldn't let him. The Mission Impossible people wouldn't let him shave his mustache, so he had to act as Superman with a mustache. And then they tried to CG it out and did a horrible job, apparently.
Why can't Superman have a mustache?
I think you're looking at the reason right now. Nobody takes him seriously. Like, hey, you got it. Hey. Why can't we all just get along? I don't know. It's just funny. Like with a mustache, you're more like Rico Suave. I don't know.
It makes me think of Mario. I feel like you're gonna I don't know.
Lasagna is sounding pretty good about now.
Yeah.
And to do some light plumbing.
Light plumbing.
I'd be okay with all that.
Yes.
What there?
Anyway, so you've been experimenting.
And Super Mario.
There you go. I like it. That's perfect.
That's too odd. I should have been.
Super Mario. That's nice.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay.
All right. So you've been experimenting the last few days, and it's been fun to watch that thing.
Yeah. And we also have a painting from the Kylie Sykes, and it's about an hour ago that we're going to get to show. But here, let me show for this painting that I'm working on tonight. It's been a lot of fun because it's the first time that I got it in acrylic pouring. Although I'll be honest, this isn't so much acrylic pouring as it's using techniques that I use from my resin paintings and stuff. So in putting that over to acrylic. So, but let me show you this. This is the way the painting looked last week. Not last week. Monday.
Yeah.
Whenever we finished the show. So I'd done the line drawing kind of earlier in the day, and I got the gray down during the show. Then, like yesterday, I think or so, I torched it, and I started. So I started playing around with some pouring techniques and some different things like that.
Yeah, and you were torching it serious, man. I was like, we need to get some of this stuff out of the way because I don't know if you fully checked if like the stuff around you was flammable.
Well, I could fly in the center of the sun and be completely okay. So a little bit of flames that are going around,
True.
And to be honest, I wasn't even really using the torch. I was just shooting the rays out of my eyes. I was just holding the torch to make it look good. But so here, let me show the painting right now as it stands. You think of which thing I'm stressed up by? Gosh, I can't remember. Okay.
Come on, Superman.
Okay, yeah. I've got super strength and not a super memory.
The light is blowing it out just a little bit because of the glare, but it is some really cool colors.
Oh, cool. So I don't know, like, if I move this around, does that help the light any, or?
Can you move it to the left?
I don't know.
No.
Hey, if I do this?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so I have this tilting way forward. So what I did is I used some, and this is very rough, which is kind of cool. So I was wondering about putting resin over this because this whole sky area, I put in stars, there's swirls, and you probably can't see it, but there's a lot of little variations of color through here. So I don't know if it comes through the webcam. There's lots of gold and light blues, dark blues, and I have little white stars, yellow stars, pink stars, and different things through here. And then, of course, the The moon, so if you remember, I'm going to put that back. It's going to blow it out, guys, but I apologize. Some of this paint is very shiny, so when the light hits it, it just goes nuts.
Well, and I think it's really cool, and I don't know if you had planned this, but like usually when you do the acrylic pouring stuff or other people, it's like a slick surface, it's real shiny and everything, but when you applied the heat, it really seared it, and it gave it this sort of pitted, gravelly look.
Yeah,
And it feels like the moon, like texture you'd find on the moon or space or whatever.
Yeah, I've done that before with resin, and I thought that'd be kind of fun here. I didn't realize how bubbly it would get. I knew it would get pretty bubbly, like, because I was really torching it.
Yeah, it was on fire.
Yeah, that was awesome. So that was a lot of fun. And but I used some Floetrol and mixed in with the paint, a little bit of water mixed in with the paint, and some silicone oil mixed in too. And then I kind of layered a copper paint and a gold paint and a midnight blue and a black.
Nice.
All together, and so to get this effect. But what I did though is so the reason I kind of hesitate to say this is acrylic pouring, it's using some of those techniques, but it's using some of the resin techniques. I thought it might be interesting to just talk about it tonight because I know a lot of people are getting into resin pouring. Acrylic pouring. But I want it to be, but I have this thing, where I kind of want to know what's happening on the canvas. And since I can't see it, I've got to touch it. I want to control it a little bit, and so I'm doing it with baby steps because I know what happens when I use this technique. So I'm just going to slowly incorporate other techniques into it. And so with this, I was able to go in and put in the color and then have it thick enough so that I could go in and kind of paint. So I can make the swirls and some different things going on and put in the stars and do all that. And so down here I had a different mixture of paint than what I poured up here. And then I could actually go and using my fingers and using a spoon and using a paintbrush, actually put the paint around and have it flow. And then before that though, if you remember on Monday, on this drawing that I made, it has really thick borders going around it. And that helped control the paint as well, so I didn't have to worry about it overflowing it.
So are you going to go back in and, because you got some really cool techniques with the swirls, but then there's big chunks of the darkness. You're gonna go back in with like different colors over it, or are you?
No, I think I'm gonna leave that. And okay. I don't know if you can tell on this camera or not, but in the darkness there's like gray and there's speckles.
It looks cool. Yeah.
Pardon me. So I kind of want to keep that, and but I was wondering about maybe doing another layer, but I don't know. I really kind of like what I did, but another part of me kind of wants to put resin all over it and make it one sheet, but then you would lose that thickness, because there's a texture all over here, and it's kind of nice. Like if somebody with a visual impairment were to feel this painting, the sky feels very different than the moon. It feels very different than the cat. Plus you have that raised border. So if you have a visual impairment, this is a fun painting to feel. It's like you can tell exactly where the moon is.
That's cool. Well, Sheila McComas joins us, says, "Hi, Bob." Hey. And super unfit Superman. Hello. And Emily Barksdale has joined us and says, "Wow, so amazing." To your painting.
Thank you. So I was wondering about that. The benefits that you would get with resin would be that it would deepen the colors a little bit, make it pop. You can do that with varnish a little bit, but I don't know. I'm thinking about leaving this really interesting texture because it's the texture is harder to make than a slick surface, So I think that might be more interesting, and it's definitely more interesting to feel. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just leave it. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm working on the cat, and what I'm kind of doing, what my inspiration from the cat is sort of the night sky, in a way. Mm-hmm. And this almost looks like the Earth as well. Like this.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Okay.
It's all, so is it like the moon and the cat, or they have a conversation about the humans on Earth, or is it like the night sky?
I already have a name for this painting.
What's the name you were thinking?
Bob has spoken. Midnight meeting.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's what it is.
Pardon me for the cough. I think I swallowed water wrong. That's a good title.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to paint on it during the show, and if so, what?
Yeah. So I'm working on the cat, and the idea for the cat is that I'm using colors that are actually in the night sky. So it's probably hard to see it on the camera, but there's all the colors in the cat are actually in the sky, and they're just little star points, though. So almost, I'm thinking of the cat almost like the sky and the sun, and then you've got the moon over here. So,
okay.
So
that'd be cool.
Almost like two celestial beings that are kind of coming around. The cat's face I'm working on. I misdrew his head. He was too skinny. His head was too skinny. He was almost looking kind of rat-like. So what I did is I started plumping it out over here. So just a little while ago, now it's dry, so I can touch it. But I'm giving him more of a forehead, and then have it curved back in, and then his nose was down here. Now it's up here.
Nice.
So here, I can go back. If I can remember. I swear, I put on the Superman costume and I cannot remember where all my buttons are.
You're a different person.
I am. Yeah, I'm Henry Cavill.
He doesn't know how to work this equipment.
Yeah, he doesn't know buttons. Henry Cavill buttons.
He only knows mustaches.
Yeah. So his mustaches and how to not shave them off. So the cat, I'm poking at the painting, even though I have a picture up, because I'm Henry Cavill, Superman. Apparently I don't know how buttons or cameras work. I feel bad. Henry Cavill's probably a really, really nice person, and it feels like I'm poking. You know what? He's probably got a good sense of humor, too. So
and he looks good in every outfit.
Yeah, I do.
No, well, yes, you do, but so does Henry.
I am Henry Cavill.
We're on a first-name basis.
So you can see, like, I changed the shape of the skull a little bit. So that's what I'm working on there. Oh, I want to show really quickly before I start the painting. Okay, we have Bob Ross over there, and we have Toy Ross here. So you can get an idea if you forget what Bob Ross looks like. There's Bob Ross. Do you have a palette?
I do. I have one. I have my setup behind me.
Here.
You know, impromptu painting, happy trees, whatever you all need.
Can you hold your palette just like Toy Ross?
I'm clearly the expert in this scenario.
Tell me when you have it, and I'll take a screenshot.
Got it like this.
You ready?
Oh, yeah, that's how you hold that thing. I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, see Bob Ross teaches art. Tell me when you're ready.
There, I'm there.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for indulging me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toy Ross. All right. Well, I'm gonna get to painting a little bit. I want to work on that. Oh, but you know what? Okay, before
show Kylie's painting.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Okay. Is this it?
No. You're not there yet.
This is it.
Yes.
So Kylie sent us this painting, and Kylie has sent us artwork before, and thank you so much, Kylie, for sharing that. It's so great. What is this?
So this is really cool. It's like it's got a black background. I'm not sure what it's on. I'm not sure if it's like a black canvas or black construction paper, but it's got a black canvas, and then it's got loops at the top, almost like U shapes of, I don't know what material she used. I assume it might be yarn or twine or something, and it's like a green color, and it's loops going across the top. Each individual loop has a color. It's like blue, maybe purple, white, red, black. And then on the bottom, it's mirrored. And then going across it is white lines. So it almost has this sort of, I don't want to say circus feel, but this sort of like pattern.
Oh, yeah. Oh, kind of like a, what you're describing, it almost makes me think of a medieval.
Yeah, that's it.
Tent.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so it's really, it was really cool. I dig it. And obviously it's got lots of texture, which is awesome.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Kylie's chiming in. She says, construction paper with Wiccan sticks.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's really cool.
Colored pencils. And then Ron said, I love that painting when you were back on yours.
Oh, thank you, Ron.
So, yeah, that is really cool. I dig it. Awesome.
Wiki sticks are a great way, to be able to make lines that you can touch and feel.
What is that? Is that the plastic for the 3D little pen? What is that?
No. It's like I'm not sure if it's wax, but it's like a wire. It's like a wax coated wire thing you can bend. I want to say it's wax coated wire. Is that what a wiki stick is, Kylie? I've never used them in my art, but I've messed around with them, and I've used them like at a museum and stuff where they had them, but I've never actually created with them. So,
well, Kylie says, this is I think the name of the painting. It's called Catching Colors.
Ooh.
And then Linda chimed in and said, I think corset, which I would agree. I would agree.
Corset. Cool.
Yep.
Saucy.
That's
awesome. That's really cool. Well, thanks again, Kylie, for sharing that. That's really neat.
Oh, Kylie says yes, it's wax.
Aha.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
they're really cool because they're kind of sticky because of the wax, so you can stick them on paper and
Do
stuff.
you like heat it up before you? I assume.
No, you just there's bendable. Like I want to say they come like in a container, and then you just get a bunch of them out.
Is just holding them, warming them enough to stick?
Yeah. I mean, it's just sort of a light wax, like wire. So it's just a bendable wire, and it kind of then they have color because of the wax. And you just bend them around, and yeah, they're really cool though. They're fun to play with.
Huh, interesting.
And create with if you're
Ooh. I wonder what would happen if you used them on a piece of art, and then you took a heat gun to it, so you just like melted the poo out of it, but then it left that wire, and then it created some sort of weirdness.
I don't know. The wire might fall off.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't melt it. Maybe it's laying flat when you melt it, so it's not gonna just drip down.
I don't know. That might be something to try.
I don't know. Kim has joined us and says, y'all look so good.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. This itches. It so itches. And Kylie says, you're welcome. I love sharing my artwork with everyone. So, yeah, keep sending. Anybody out there, if you guys do art, send it in. We love yapping about it. Awesome.
I guess I really do have paint on all my clothes, or almost all my clothes, because I even already have paint on this. That I mean, when I put it on, I thought, I got paint on this.
Do you really?
Yeah, but when did I wear this where I got paint? I don't know.
I'm trying to think, because that's been in the closet for years, and I bought a Batgirl or Batwoman costume at the same time, and we were going to something where we were going to be like superheroes. Oh. My costume got destroyed.
Fighting crime?
Yes, let's just say that.
Was there crime at the bar?
There was probably
a lot of crime
at the bar.
Golly, there's a lot of crime at this bar. Get me together. We'll drown the
Get away from my drink.
You're so silly.
You never know. You
never know. Better safe than sorry.
All I know is my costume is gone. I honestly think part of it kind of melted. I'm not 100% because it was that like weird.
Maybe we're fighting villains.
Leather. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have it anymore. Yours, however, has stayed intact, and it's impressive.
Huh, thank you.
All your muscles.
Yeah, look at all these muscles.
Mm-hmm. Listen to them.
Yeah, listen to me flex.
Okay, so let's see. Jack and I played some video games.
Oh yes.
And I'll preface this situation.
I'll put this on here for just a minute.
Okay, so we have the PS4, but we have like the complete VR system for anybody out there. It's virtual reality, so it's like a headset. You have toggles, and when you play a game that is compatible with this, you are completely immersed in the game, and it's not just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, wow. Neat. It's full on, like, you move and you shouldn't. Like, you freak out and you may move around the living room or the space you're in even though you're not supposed to. So a lot of times it helps to have another person there that's kind of like, you're getting close to the coffee table, scoot over. So it's immersive and crazy. And I play a lot of Farpoint, which is a shooting game, because we have like a virtual little gun thing that you can shoot spiders, and those things are crazy scary and fun. And then Star Trek. There's a Star Trek one where you're actually the captain and you can sit at all the chairs, and that's a really it's a fun one if you're really into Star Trek. Otherwise, it gets a little monotonous.
You've been so busy here lately. You haven't really played.
I haven't in a while. I did play like the Star Trek one last and got through the Kobayashi Maru. I didn't complete it. Like you can't solve it obviously, but I made it back alive.
Well, that's a big thing.
But I didn't get all the survivors.
Well, you know.
I think I got like
it was their time. You never know.
I got a few beamed aboard, and then I had to get out of there. I was just like, sorry, you're bad, not mine. So, anyway, the VR is a lot of fun in that respect because you can like full on look around and you're immersed. So I thought, well, John, this is really, I blame you. You were like, let's get a scary VR game, which I don't usually get or dig, and film Jacqi playing it.
Yeah, I haven't played video games. I mean, like, I don't play video games, obviously. I haven't played them since Super Mario.
I can barely, and I'm like...
But I love to make you scream. That's funny. So that sounded good to me.
Well, and I don't like haunted houses. I know it's fake. I know half the time, most of the time, they're not allowed to touch you. I know that. I know all of that. But haunted houses freak me out. So, like, I will full on scream and barrel through people. I remember one time you and I were, like, first dating, and we were watching a scary movie, and I think I broke your finger.
You did? Well, you popped it. Yeah. You popped it out of socket.
Because I was just like, I mean... You know,
but you know,
it's
we're dating, so we didn't make a big deal. I was like, "I'll just pop back in." And then every movie after that, you're like, "What held your hand?" Or like, "No, that's okay." Why don't you hold my forearm?
So, John got the great idea. We would buy Paranormal, the Lost Soul VR game, and film me playing it. And I need somebody to share in my misery, so we invited his mom over, who is hilarious, and she's clearly braver than I am. I mean, she played it for like another 30 minutes past me, which yeah. I'm kind of embarrassed about.
Shall we roll the tape?
Yeah. So this tape is gonna be it's a tape of us playing it, and we played it over time, but this is like some clips from it, and it's quite ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's less than a minute long, guys, so it's real short. It's funny.
Is it always the same?
I guess not. It was like that originally.
Ooh, that's scary in itself.
I'm good. That was fun. I'm good.
I think that's my girl. What are you doing? Why are you pouring a ball at me, you little turd? And pardon my French. What are you doing?
I think she wants you to follow. You can follow her.
Oh, I'm sure.
That worked out so well in The Shining.
Run.
Okay.
Take the headset off if you're freaking out.
That was a heartfelt scream. There she comes. She's there. She's there.
I like the very end. I think Jack's probably the smartest one because he's just like, nope. I like the grandma's coming to get you. He's like, I'm out.
Nope.
I don't need this in my life. And he just walks away.
Man, it's funny too because this is what's hilarious about it is you're playing the game and I felt kind of bad for your mom in that respect because I played it last night a bit. And just to get it started, 'cause you have to go through a tutorial. And so I knew the controllers, and so I was trying to walk her through it. But when you're like approached by something scary in the game, like in reality, you would like turn and run. But in a video game, it's like you're paralyzed because you don't know the controls. So you're like ah! So your mom, it was hilarious. So your mom was like ah! She's like hitting every button and she's just going like over and over and over and over again, like through the motions. And it was like just take the thing off, just take it off.
That's awesome. My mom is such a good sport. And it was funny too because apparently she was crouched. She knew how to get out of the crouch position, so she was exploring the house crouched down, just creeping through crouch, holding a book out and a battery just in front of her. I don't know, just a visual of someone creeping going through a scary house on crouched down. But, you know.
Well, my mom has joined us and says, hilarious. And Linda said, glad to see your mom back again on this. I wouldn't have done that game. And she actually wanted to go back. Like, your mom was like, here, I'm going to go back through. I want to see that woman. Because eventually you reach a point down the hall where you see what is probably, like, a human, not a spirit. But she's gone nuts. And she's, like, boarding up the windows. And she turns around to you. And she's like, and then she comes after you. And if you can't run quick enough and hide, then she kills you and you restart in that same position. So she was like, I'm going to try again. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's braver than I am.
Yeah, man.
Kim said, I missed the beginning. Did you use the paint pouring for the black background?
Oh, I did. Here, Mia. Sorry, I'm thinking about taking this mustache off.
I know.
This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. Okay.
Is it really? Rip it. Like a Band-Aid. Do it. Do it.
Gosh, I know. It's funny.
You want me to do it? Can I do it?
No.
Can I do it? Really?
No, I mean, you can do it, but I'll do it. But you can do it if you want.
You want me to do it?
Not really. I kind of rather you not do it. But it's funny because I'll send the signal. My brain's sending the signal to my hand, like, rip it.
Just do it.
Then my hand doesn't do anything.
Do it mid sentence. Oh. How did it feel?
Gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you think you lost some mustache hair?
I don't know. Honestly, everything feels hot and cold at the same time. In pain. I feel like scorpions. Anyway, what is it we're talking about? I completely wiped my brain.
Okay, the game, and it was silly, and your mom, and... Oh, the black. Oh,
the black. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I swear. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so here, let me show you.
See, I'm on the verge of taking this thing off because the hairs are...
Well, you could, and then you'll just be Austin Power or Beyonce.
That's true. She would never wear a plain blue collared shirt, though. That's ridiculous.
Oh, you never know. Maybe for a video.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, black paint. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I use sort of an acrylic pouring technique, but it's more based on work that I do with resin. Because I'll use heat guns and mostly flamethrowers, but torches to set the resin, and I can make it thick enough where I can move it around and I can paint with it. So I kind of did that with this. This is a very, very thick sort of paint. I mean, it's very textured. It almost feels like leather or naga hide or something like that.
Naga hide.
Going across, yeah, I don't know, or lizard skin a little bit, but and then it has like the swirls. But I was able to, I used Floetrol, silicone oil, acrylic paint in water, a little bit of water, and then mix the layers into like a brilliant blue, some gold, a copper color, and black, and so I layered that, and I would put the different colors like the blue and the gold and the copper I kind of put together. The black I kept separate, but I could go in and add it into different places. And then I would use a brush. And I know, like, for actual acrylic pouring, it seems like they do everything through pouring and stuff. Like, they don't go in and want to touch it and play around with it. But I'm a very tactile kind of person, so I wanted to be able to feel it and touch it and stuff. So that's what I'm doing here. And so I'm just doing baby steps when it comes to the pouring. But what I'm using it for, what I'm wanting, is to have control over it, but also to let the paint kind of do its own thing. It's like how paint will work when it's mixed with oil and when it's mixed with water, and when those are mixed together, like the effect it'll have. And so trying to apply these different effects into the painting to give it more of a more of a natural feel.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've used it in paintings in the past, but I'm really excited to be able to start using these different pouring mediums, because I think it'll take what I've done in the past and just make it more interesting, more fun.
Nice.
So that's what I did there. And then, I should say, so at the end of Monday, I had the grayscale kind of painting going along here. So I had light grays and dark grays going along the moon and the cat. So it was a black and white painting with some grays, and I wanted to bring that up because I wanted everybody to look at it and see. So even though it was a black and white and gray painting, looking at this painting where it stands right now, you probably wouldn't have guessed it, because there's just so much color in it, in the moon's face and all. The places that probably look a little gray on the moon are actually purple. And so I don't know. Do you see any like real gray in it anymore?
No, not really. No.
Isn't that funny? Because that's a wonderful technique, because you can start getting tonal qualities and start getting more of a 3D sort of effect by just using grays and then painting over it. And if you keep your paint where it isn't completely opaque, then it won't completely cover it up. But when the light goes through the paint that you're putting on the surface, instead of hitting that white canvas and coming back, it'll hit the gray, and the different tones of gray will cause the light to behave in a different way. So it'll give you different qualities.
Huh.
Which is nice, because that means that you can use one color, but as it goes over the different shades of gray, that one color will suddenly become 2 colors and 3 colors and 4 colors, that are all the different shades of the original.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what? Makes it fun. And so working like over here on the cat is a lot darker here, towards like her left shoulder. I'm calling her. Sort of loosely basing this cat on a cat I used to have. Her name was Captain, and she was a very small cat, but oh my goodness, she had a big personality. She was tough. She was sweet. She was just crazy, crazy cat. But over here though, let's take you to the films. And so let me show on the. See, I don't think I'm doing. Am I doing this?
I mean, you're clicking on the screen.
Is it doing it? I don't know if I'm.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I'm trying to go to the. I want to go to the black and white painting, but it's not in my Bluetooth. It's not doing anything. Is it not doing? Oh, well, never mind, guys. Can I do it this way? No. Sorry, guys.
Elizabeth has joined us and says costumes are just great. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, Jacqi knocked it out of the park. Well, okay.
Well,
I showed it before.
I should
Some reason
say
I won't go back to it.
I didn't choose this hairstyle by choice. It was an economical choice.
Was
it? It was. It was an economical choice. It's cheaper to get. It was cheaper to get it permanent cut. It was.
Is that your real hair? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that was Bob Ross's reasoning.
Oh, right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up getting cancer and losing his hair and everything. But
and he had to wear wigs. That's right.
Yeah, and he wore and he kind of got out of the time when he wanted to afro. It was like, the decades moved on. He was like, I don't really want to afro anymore. But that's what he was known having. Yeah, so that's what he kept.
Yeah, so they made him. Well, so yes,
he thought, well, it's my brand. It's like my trademark.
It's my brand.
So.
Could you imagine, like, I don't know, it sounds like a sitcom, like your brand is something that just does not, extend the ages. It's just questionable.
But he pulled it off, though.
Yeah.
So there. Well, guys, also we have an announcement. I think we're probably gonna start doing the live stream maybe once a week instead of twice a week.
Yes.
And then making the show on the once a week like more of a bigger deal, and
John might do a dance. There might be glitter involved.
Yeah, we used to do it once a week, and then with the COVID thing, we started doing it twice, and then there for a while it was intermittent, and then with the COVID though, we've been doing it twice a week. But we're thinking it might be better if we did it once a week, but put all of the energy into that one. But I don't know. I mean, honestly, it's a really hard decision because we enjoy getting on here the heck out of this. Like, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna really miss it, And I'm not saying that we won't do it twice a week. It's just that we're thinking about making a one time a week where we know we say, okay, on Thursday at 8, we're on. Every Thursday at 8. That's it.
Yeah, it's the designated day.
Yes, the designated day, and there may be other days where we do it too. Like we may still come on Mondays and stuff, but it's not a guarantee thing, because we want to be able to say when we're on and always be able to do it.
Well, my mom has chimed in and says, "Bummer."
Oh, well. But we also want to do other type of video things.
Maybe she came on and did some karaoke.
Yeah, there we go. Monday night karaoke.
Ron says, glitter dance definitely got my attention. So you have to do a glitter dance. That's what that means. I don't know if you have to do a glitter dance.
I'll have to Google what a glitter dance is, and then I will probably do a glitter dance.
and my mom says love the show, so.
Oh, thank you.
But we'll. I mean, I think it's a good thing that we'll move to like once a week, and then that show, we'll have trivia. You'll like get some intense painting done, and we'll have updates, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, because I want to work on projects and stuff that we do, here, and then and the twice a week has been really fun. But we knew when we started doing twice a week, I thought, well, we're not going to do this forever. But gosh, it's so much fun right now, and let's do it.
Yeah.
And I know Monday we may not be here. Like I don't know. Like I'm not sure when we're getting back or anything. So this makes a really good time to be able to start it, because Monday was going to be a little tricky for us to be able to do.
And I've run out of outfits.
Well, hey, you've almost run out of October, so it worked out perfectly.
I know, this is the last hurrah of outfits. We're still going to rage on.
Boop. Yeah. And actually, and the reason we want to do that is to make things a little bit more fun, to pack everything into.
Well, Linda says, I enjoyed them too. I remember your Friday night shows.
Oh, boy.
Man, see, and we need to get your mom back, because your mom's always, like, hilarious. So your mom could pop in, do her sort of weird comedic routine.
Yeah.
She would even dress up. Yeah.
She dressed up like a 1920s flapper one night. That was a fun show. Like, it'd be fun to do some things. Like, I think on that night, like we had somebody that was like modeling for like 1920s, and then and Mom came dressed like in the 1920s, and then we did.
We had like 4 cameras going where we were showing, like, people were in here drawing. And
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was pre-COVID, of course, and we had people in here that were sketching and doing different things. So that'd be fun, and we want to do like an art like an art bar scenario one, so we want to be able to do some different things, and that'll be fun. Shake this paint.
Yeah, Linda said John's mom was fun on Fridays.
Oh, thank you. I will tell her that you said that. She'll love that. We will see her in a couple of days, I think. Yeah,
it was funny playing the VR game, and she was all for it. She was like a mess. Hilarious.
Yeah, and if we can find a night where my mom will come back on, she'll it probably won't be a Thursday night, so it'll have to be a different night. So that'll be a bonus night.
Yeah,
that'll be good. I cannot get this paint to mix.
What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to mix this paint. But every time I squirt it out, it feels really runny. So it's a fluorescent pink. This kitty needs some fluorescent pink, and right now I cannot get it to mix up.
Well, Kim asked, did you finish the Cabin in the Woods painting?
No, I'm still working on that on that one. I've been making some changes to it and stuff. So I'm not done with it. And
yeah, you added an outhouse because everybody's got a poo.
Yeah. So it's going for more of a rustic feel. There's an outhouse in it. There's a campfire and adding a little bit more dimensionality to it. But so I'm still working on that, and I want to get it done really fast. But it's one of those where you put layers on it, and it takes a lot of layers to be able to get the dimensions right. It's sort of like to make it where it's not just a 2-dimensional painting. Like, you want the light to look like it's coming through the trees, and in order to do that, you have to paint some layers of trees and have others on others. Where like Bob Ross over there would do it with one, wet on wet technique. Where it's like one stroke painting sort of stuff. Don't knock the expert. Yeah, there you go.
Clearly.
But I tend to use did different techniques that predated Bob Ross and post-dated Bob Ross. No, but I love wet on wet. But I'm using different techniques where it's layered paint upon layered paint. You're using semi-transparent and opaque paints kind of together, so that you get more of a dappled effect. So, but that just takes time. You can't do it in a 30-minute thing. I cannot get this to mix. I can feel it.
You should just move on to a different color.
Well, I might have to.
Or maybe you need to buy more of that paint.
Well, I've got it right here too. But I wanted the high flow. So what I'm going to do, because that's already mixed up in the high flow. So I'm going to take that, mix it in with this other, and voila, Bobby boy. We have
now the question
some
is
very pink paint.
The question is, are you cool enough to paint that 3 times like me?
Oh, that's right. That's right, yeah.
Can you paint that 3 times? Really quickly.
Could you paint it with your eyes closed, Bob?
Well, I mean, no.
Okay. Okay, Bob. Okay.
Well, Kim says, please show that painting when you're done. The cabin painting. Definitely show it.
Oh, thank you, Kim. I will. I sure will.
She was cheering you on to mix the pink Superman. Mix it. Right. Mix that paint.
All right. So look. It's super pink now. Does that show it?
I mean, oh yeah. I can see it on your finger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super pink. Super pink for a Superman. So what I'm doing right now is this pink is actually it's semi-transparent, and so you can go in there and I don't have to be as exact. So like I've worked on this painting, so it's funny. One of the things I was asked when I was giving the talk today was, well, how do you know when you're done? How do you know like what the next step is and all that? Mm-hmm. And my answer was really because I'm asked that a lot, but it's it's kind of like whenever you learn how to drive a car. At first, you're thinking about everything, every step. Like you're trying to remember which foot you used to step on the brake and on the gas, and you use the same foot. Or what was the rule? This or that. Where's the blinker? Everything. But then after a while, driving a car is the very last thing that you're thinking about. You're thinking about your day at work. You're wondering, how many times you've heard that same ad on the radio. All this stuff's going on, but it becomes muscle memory in a way. In the same way with painting, I paint so much and I paint every day that a lot of the paintings are always different. So it isn't that kind of like repetitive, but it's like different steps. Like the steps have become a little bit, where I don't have to think about it. Where I think, well, all right, so I'm going to do a tinting on this part of the painting. I've tinted so many paintings that it's easy for me to mix it up and to cover the area that I wanted to cover. And and know when I can be a little looser, when I need to be a little more detailed, when I need to slow everything down. There's some parts of a painting where I know I can't be disturbed, where I just gotta focus, and I'll lock the door because that's
when we're locked out of the studio.
Yeah, but it's because I can't move my hands off of it. I can't talk to anybody. I need to think about it.
Tends to always be during homeschool.
Yeah.
John will come in and be like, "Do you need me for the next few hours?" I'm like, I guess not.
I guess not.
I'm locking the door.
But there's other times like this, and I always try to, like on a live stream and stuff, I try to save parts of the painting where I don't have to be, where I'm not like sweating bullets trying to think about it. So this is the type of thing. It's a semi-transparent paint. If I do make a mistake, it's only somewhat there. So it's gonna make a big effect where I want it, but it's not going to mess things up too much. It'll be easy to fix.
Well, Ron said I was wondering if he could paint the same painting twice also.
Oh, I try not to. Like I've done similar paintings, but every original I want it to be completely like the only one.
Yeah,
so each one's a one-off, which
you've only painted maybe 2 paintings that you knew you were going to do multiples of, because the one you did of Jack. Mm-hmm. As a baby, and you did multiples of those to give away, and then
there's a few, there's very few.
There was one, I think one more, but I mean you can do almost an exact replica. The colors might be like slight tint differently, but the goal is to not do that, because if you have an original, John Bramlett, that you'd want it to be just yours. So
yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
But honestly, like one of the questions I was asked today too is it like, well, can you make a living at art and all that? I was like, yeah, but you have to think creatively, but you could absolutely, I do, a lot of artists do. I mean, that's, but one thing that makes it easier if you don't do what I do and you don't paint the same painting over, like Munch, like the screen, everybody thinks that like that painting when it comes to him. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't just one painting. He painted that painting over and over and over and over and over again. And, and sold it over and over and over and over and over again. And that is really smart from a fiscal sort of thing. And also, like, nobody thought any less of him for it, And he did, like, different versions of it and different stuff. And some that were exactly the same and sort of, so you know, when it comes to art, I don't think there's any hard, fast rules. You know, it's not like, well, that's wrong. No, or that's right. But it just depends on the person. Like I don't like I've done similar paintings.
Yeah.
And I like that actually. That's kind of fun. And I'm actually thinking about doing a series of extremely similar paintings. But I've thought about this for a couple of years, and because I don't do repeats, it really grates on me. Like I'm not sure, is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Because,
well, I don't know.
Yeah, but here, okay.
You haven't talked to me about it.
Yeah, we have. Okay. I'm gonna stop paying for a second because this is something we've talked about before.
Well,
and there's no better place to talk about it here than with our friends.
Go.
Are you okay?
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I've thought about doing some series. I've thought about doing some paintings that are extremely dimensional, like 3D,
mm-hmm.
but doing it on like let's say like a face, like kind of like a Marilyn Monroe painting. So her face is the same.
Yeah.
On all the paintings, but each painting is also like a music painting. Mm-hmm. So you're capturing different moods, different. But the face is pretty much the same, but but the paintings, all the colors, everything is different.
So how is it different from Andy Warhol?
Well, it's very similar to what like Andy Warhol would do, except he did like printing.
Right.
He would do like a 40 by 40. That's what you had to have. You could order whatever color you wanted. Oh, I want a tangerine Madonna. When it wasn't Madonna. But,
yeah.
Maryland, and he was like, at the factory would put it out. And that's what he called it, the factory. That's what it was. But what I wanted to do though was something a little bit different, where so it's like let's say it's a painting of a moon and a cat, and I don't want to do it with this painting, but let's say like this one, you have a particular song, in the background. That's what you have. I think it'd be really interesting to have the same subject matter, the same composition, but what's different though is the music, the emotion, the feeling from it. So it's kind of like how a person. You have the same face, the same bone, the same skin, but the emotions can be different. So you have the same person feeling angry, the same person feeling sad, the same person, feeling these deep emotions. And that way, if you have that on a painting like that, but the composition is pretty much the same each time, you can get a better look at the emotions, because that's the only thing that's really changed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a total legit idea. I mean, obviously. I think
my Bluetooth's going out. My computer's talking about.
I think it's sort of like one of those things where you have to play it to the art world a certain way. So
yeah.
Well, let me say really fast. Ron said, "Well, change the color of the moon, then it would be a different but the same."
Yeah. It's what I'm thinking. Because what I always do is I completely change the painting usually, and everything, but I'm thinking for like a certain series that might be interesting and. Like you say about playing in the artwork, that's the smart thing to do. But, one of the things, like the art career is, like, we've really been outlaw artists because the gallery system wasn't embracing an artist with a disability, especially a blind artist, 20 years ago when I started. And they only like us now because of, that
you have some backing.
Yeah, that we worked with so many museums, and then we started working with so many galleries. Now, it's not really an issue, but...
Well, let me say really fast.
I never really think about... getting into gallery. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just do what you do.
And do what you do. Well, Stephanie Cook has joined us. Says, Jacqi, you're looking Bobby. Thank you.
I should say you're just joining. I'm Superman, but I'm Henry Cavill Superman.
I'm feeling Bobby.
So there's a story. Okay, I didn't put that. That hurt earlier when I took it off, so I didn't really put it on there very well.
You're like, I'm not risking it.
I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit this time.
Renee Wright has joined us. Says, I'm in love. How cool. And then Kylie says, I'm almost done with your book. It's a tear-jerking good. It's tear-jerking good.
Oh, well, thank you.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have to remind me what happened. Anyway, I agree. I think, you and I have similar yet different approaches to the art world, which I think is why we're a good team. I feel like my view is very... business oriented, and how what does this look like on the outside, and true to self, you're an artist and you want to create these things and experiment and do this stuff, and that's probably why I'm like, well, you want to set yourself apart from Andy Warhol, but it almost, if you're just going to do the same image but it's different colors, you have to kind of translate that in a way without having to specifically explain it, because it's like telling a bad joke, what this means. So what does that look like to the art world, to general viewers, without explaining it, without being like, okay guys, this is my stuff, but let me explain it first.
Yeah. That's true. And that's a really valid point. One thing I want to make sure with the artwork too is that, I hate it whenever you go to somewhere and you go to an artist talk and they use all these giant words and they make it very, we both live art, we do art every day, and so we go to those art talks, we know what they're talking about, and it's not a big reach for us to understand what they're talking about, but I also think that they're being very pretentious, and maybe they don't understand as well, because I've always heard that if you understand a subject, you don't need to use giant words. The better you understand something, the more you can make it understood to everyone, and so to be able to. And I think another big thing with the painting is that you should be able to stand in front of the painting and be affected by it without having to have an explanation. The explanation's super sweet, and it can really add to it, and it gives you background flavor and all that. But if you're looking at it and you're thinking like, oh, I don't really get it, and then they'll say, oh, this red dot on canvas represents the trouble that people had in China 400 years ago during this emperor, and blah blah blah. And you go like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing now. But but it's like, gosh, that's pretty removed from
that extra step can be the difference between somebody sticking around to enjoy it or it being, in the mix of everything else that's out there.
But a title and a story behind a painting can really tell you a lot. I mean, I know some artists really go the other way and they won't title their paintings. They'll just say they'll just give them a number or something because they don't want to influence the viewer at all. And kind of like this painting here that I'm working on. If you entitled it like what was the title you had?
Midnight Meeting.
Midnight Meeting. See, that gives you an idea.
Is it a good meaning?
If you entitled it "The Cat Ate the Moon," and suddenly you have a whole different idea of what's happening there.
Well, and another
enemies, and
another idea there. And this is interesting. Linda said, think what you could do with emotions with the head of a horse, ears and eyes, and that makes me think. This isn't the first time people have tried to do this. I mean, Monet did haystacks in different colors, and that provokes a different feeling. As you look at each painting and you walk through the gallery and you see it pinks or blues or golds or whatever, it's a totally different tone that it's going to set in a room. So that's, it's been done, and it's just how do you make it your own? How do you really embrace it and bring the viewer in to experience it?
Well, gosh, Bob, I agree with everything you said.
Yes.
Next time you come on, Bob, be sure to bring your squirrel.
I don't know. He did everything virtually for free, so he may not be the right businessman.
Bob was actually a brilliant businessman, which is why there's still the thing. But he didn't do everything for free. He made he was a millionaire when he died, but he did a really smart thing. They didn't have the internet back then when he was doing it, but what they did have was public TV. So he gave his joy of painting for free to any TV station, any PBS station that wanted it, which meant that the station didn't have to pay for that program, which was awesome because they're always having to pay for everything and it's expensive. So they could put the joy of painting on, not have to pay for it. And for him, so he would do 3 paintings for each show, and then he would,
He filmed whole seasons in 2 days.
Yeah, he would do a ton, and then, but for him though, it was free advertising for his painting workshops, which is where he actually made his money was from teaching other people how to paint, and then the art supplies and stuff. So. The joy of painting was just sort of his side gig in a way. It was like his side hustle. Yeah. In a way for his actual job, which was workshops.
Yeah, it was like the joy of the painting was his PR. It was his. I mean, it was huge worldwide, huge in Japan, really huge. And so I'm sure that's where everything else came from.
Yeah. So from a business standpoint, but that's also what I say to artists though about working with nonprofits and charities. even though you're giving your time, you get paid back in so many different ways, and sometimes you'll actually make money from it, because I don't know, like in different ways, but but even if like none of the artwork sells or whatever that you're doing in conjunction with it or whatever, you get paid back by knowing that, hey, this was a really good thing we did and it was fun. So it's sort of a no-lose scenario, which is pretty awesome.
Stephanie Cook says, and he had his own line of painting supplies, which, yes, he does.
They're very expensive, by the way, I should say.
They are pricey.
Gosh, I don't know how many times I've gone to an art store and I think, oh, a Bob Ross brush.
Ooh.
I'm gonna get this. Like, it feels really nice. Feels really silky.
And you're like, you check the price, and you're like, did he touch it?
Yeah, you're like, good grief, is this made from his beard? Like, why is this?
The hairs are from his beard.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
It's just, man. So,
well, and Kim says, speaking of the different colors in a painting, like it's similar to like the red and blue trees on the cabin painting. It's a cool perspective.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm having a lot of fun working on the cabin painting, and that's one thing I'm not rushing through it because I want a lot of layers. I want a lot of depth to it, and
and you have people in there, and so you that's it's one of those that take just a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's funny because you think adding people to a piece adds a whole nother dimensionality. That takes some time, and then the cabin itself, and then trying to get that right, and then the shadows and the light play, and then I wanted a certain look with the trees, and that takes a little bit of time, and then the sky behind it. There's so many different phases to that painting, so it's been a lot of fun to work on because there's some real technical challenges with a painting like that. That's interesting to figure out and to work with, and then there's also just a lot of fun you can have with the color, and it makes me think of time that I spent out of the lake and out in the woods and with my family, and so I don't know. It's been fun.
Yep.
But. Well, guys, I don't think we're going to be back on Monday unless it's just. So I think what the plan is.
We'll post on the socials what the new schedule is. We got to get it sorted out and make it bigger and better. I want to do trivia. I want more tutorials. It'll be great.
Yeah. So I don't think we'll be back Monday. But we are going to do some random live streams every once in a while too. But I think Thursday at 8 is going to be our time.
Maybe.
So I'll have to talk with Bob and we'll figure it out. Bob is really hard to pin down these days.
I had to enjoy painting for 30 years. Anyway.
All right, guys. Well, we'll get it all figured out, and then we'll be sure. But
have a safe Halloween.
Oh yeah.
If you have to, just chunk the candy at the kids. Don't get near them.
Yeah.
And share, like, and subscribe.
If I was a kid, I wouldn't mind if people threw candy at me.
Yeah.
As long as it's candy.
I mean, I kind of wish that there was, like, a Halloween parade, like you've seen online. Instead of people going to doors, people would drive by, and you could just stand on your lawn and just hurl candy at the cars.
I guess you could do that anyway. Just cars that you drive by.
You'd be like that one neighbor that's like, what are they doing?
You're like, you don't like it?
I'm giving you candy, man.
You're just bouncing off the windows. Well, on that note, guys, have a safe Halloween.
Yes, have a safe Halloween. We will catch you guys next week.
Bye. Oh, you lost.
Oh, I